I'm Dan Plunkett, and I'm working with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. But for many years, I was in Italy as a missionary, and I worked primarily in the sports ministry outreach. And I've been back in the States for several years now, and have been able to continue to do that. We take coaches and players 2 or 3 times a year to do various clinics. We've got a soccer team going next year. We've got a basketball team, and we take coaches over to do clinics and use that platform to share Christ. And of course, what happens is that not only do we get a chance to share Christ, but the people that go, their lives are radically changed as they have to trust Christ, trust the Lord in environments that they're not familiar with, and it's a wonderful opportunity. And it's exciting to see high school students catch the vision that while I don't have maybe a lot of gifts, what I have, my interest in sports, I can use that to make a friendship with somebody in another country, and with the internet and all the other forms of communication today, continue to have that relationship. So it's a wonderful opportunity. I was in Rome about 2 years ago, and I was in the church that we were associated with there, and I was getting ready to speak, and as I was getting ready to go into the hall to speak, a young man, probably at that time was 25 to 30 years old, came up to me and says, "You remember me?" And that's always a scary question, because I've worked with so many people through the years. And I said, "Well, refresh my memory." And he says, "You worked with the youth flag football team in a section of Rome, and you gave us the Bible, the first Bible I ever had. You talked to us about the Lord every day. I thought you were crazy, but I love what you were doing with us." And he says, "I went into the military and had some problems. I had that Bible with me, but never read it. And I got to a point in my life where my fiance had left, my father had died, and my world was falling apart." And he said, "I remembered that Bible, and I remembered the devotions and thoughts that you had shared with us. I started reading that Bible, and it changed my life. And now I want you to know I've joined this church, and I'm going to be baptized in a couple of weeks. And I just want to thank you for coming and being available and doing that." And that's the kind of thing that happens. I wish I could say there are many, many times that the unseen stories, I guess the last chapter hadn't been written. And one day we'll be able to find out. But we don't, you don't do it so you can say, "These are the marks I have." You do it because it's the right thing to do. And sharing through common interest is so powerful. And the platform of sports and music, we bring over music groups, and that's a way to the hearts of our young people. It overcomes many obstacles, because when people say Christianity or the Bible, sometimes they just think, wow, they think of traditional, sacrificial, joy-eating, but in reality, when they come in contact with the living Lord, Jesus Christ, and their lives are changed, it's worth it all.